The Golden State Warriors remain in off-season limbo, locked in a standoff with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, whose breakout postseason run has dramatically raised his market value, but also complicated his future with the franchise. Kuminga, 22, closed out the 2024-25 season with a dominant four-game stretch in the second round of the NBA playoffs, leading the Warriors in scoring while Stephen Curry was sidelined due to injury. While the performance reinforced his star potential, it has made negotiations with Golden State increasingly difficult. According to multiple reports, Kuminga's camp is seeking a deal worth around $30 million annually, a figure the Warriors are not prepared to meet. In fact, NBA insider Mark Stein reported the team's best offer was just 2 years, $40 million, far below Kuminga's expectations. Complicating matters further, Kuminga reportedly does not want to return to the Warriors, and his representatives are actively exploring sign-and-trade options. The Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns are considered his top suitors. However, the Warriors are holding out for a first-round pick in any trade package, something the Suns can't currently offer due to draft pick restrictions. At this point, both sides appear far apart, with Golden State unwilling to match Kuminga's asking price and Kuminga's camp unwilling to return without it. A resolution may only come through a sign-and-trade if a team can meet the Warriors' demands. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Warriors' best offers to Jonathan Kuminga are in the 2-year, $40 million range. Draymond Green shows up to support Moses Moody's Arkansas youth camp. Lakers' Luka Doncic featured on the cover of Men's Health. The Golden State Warriors' offer to restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga has reportedly fallen well short of a long-term commitment. According to NBA insider Mark Stein via the Stein line, Golden State's top offers to Kuminga have been 2-year deals in the $40 million range. Via the Stein line, the Warriors can't sign free agents Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton, both of whom are widely expected to land in Golden State, until they resolve Kuminga's future, which is why they are the only team in the league this summer yet to sign or trade a player. Word is that the Warriors' best offers to Kuminga have topped out in the 2-year, $40 million range. Kuminga's camp, meanwhile, is said to be actively exploring sign-and-trade opportunities in pursuit of both a larger role and a more substantial payday. The Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns remain the most persistent suitors, according to Stein, but a deal has yet to materialize, with the Warriors seeking a first-round pick in any potential sign-and-trade. For more on this and other news around the NBA, here is our latest news roundup for Tuesday, July 29th. Warriors news. The Kuminga Conundrum. Understanding the Math of Sign Dash and Trades and Aprons by GSWCBA Dub Nation HQ. A 1-year veteran minimum counts at $2.3 million for apron purposes. Point 3, however, if they use those final spots on their drafted rookies, Alex Tui and Orwell Richard, their rookie minimums would only count at $1.3 million each, nearly $1 million less per player. Point 4. Which means if they sign both of those rookies to the main roster for a combined $2.6 million, they would have $26.3 million left for that last spot. That's essentially the most the Warriors could give Kuminga in the first year of his deal, unless they made a trade to shed some more salary, like trading Buddy Hield and his $9.2 million for a player making $5 million. Should Jonathan Kuminga take the qualifying offer with the Warriors? It's complicated. The Athletic recently polled 16 people who work in rival front offices, asking them what they believe would constitute a fair contract for Kuminga, given today's circumstances. They were granted anonymity in exchange for their candor. Answers ranged from $17 million to $25 million in average annual value. The mean average annual value in the poll was $20.4 million. One executive suggested a 2-year contract. 10 mentioned 3-year contracts. 4 people said 4 years. And one fan of Kuminga's game suggested the largest deal, both in years and average annual value, $125 million over 5 years. The only 3 Warriors Jonathan Kuminga paths, including Bulls, Kings sign-and-trades, clutch points. Kuminga and the Warriors alike have held out hope this offseason that the Bulls would be a suitor in a potential sign-and-trade scenario. In any scenario involving Chicago, Do-Sunmu would be the headline player going to Golden State. Between his two-way abilities and secondary playmaking skills, Do-Sunmu would fit in as a key guard in Steve Kerr's rotations that the Warriors haven't had since trading away Jordan Poole. Luka Doncic 2.0 has entered the chat, men's health. At the start of his NBA career, Doncic mostly received advice from Mavs trainers and nutritionists. During the off-seasons, when he returned to Europe, the limited guidance left him flailing. And during the season, the vicious NBA travel schedules gave him little time to clean up his diet. Especially in the NBA, you travel almost all the time, he says. You're never home. And for me, after the season, going back home, it's a big thing, I see my friends, my family, I see everybody. So it's not easy for sure. What's next for LeBron James? The Stein line. It was a worry for every team he played for through the first 22 seasons of his career, but the Lakers' widely presumed preferred scenario for their future is letting James' contract drop off their books after the 2025-26 season. Paul's statement upon announcing the player option decision, which is featured in full further down, essentially hints at this understanding if you read it carefully. NBA free agent rumors. Warriors, Seth Curry have mutual interest in reunion. With Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, rookie Will Richard, and presumably Melton all comprising the non-Steph Curry guards currently on the roster, Seth Curry would add some veteran depth with some family ties. His elite shooting could also make it easier to part with Hield in an eventual trade. While Hield was an excellent fit with the Warriors last season after the acquisition of Jimmy Butler, his $9.2 million salary is an obvious candidate to be aggregated if the Dubs make another big trade. As the Golden State Warriors have publicly sought a solution to their hole at the 5 spot this offseason, rumors have swirled heavily around their interest in veteran center Al Horford. Yet, until that deal is closed, nothing is certain, and a recent mock trade published by Sports Illustrated has the Warriors moving in a surprising direction, acquiring young center Nick Claxton from the Brooklyn Nets in an effort to shore up their roster. While Horford, 39, would provide a veteran presence to Golden State on both ends of the floor, a move for a younger player could provide them with a boost to their already aging core, therefore making this proposition an intriguing thought at the very least. Nick Claxton could be the preferable addition for a younger look. As the Warriors entered the offseason, they knew they could not rely on their current center rotation, which at the moment only includes youngsters Quinton Post and Tracy Jackson-Davis, to guide them into contention. While Post showed offensive splashes last season, shooting 40.8% from three-point range, his defensive game was lacking. Although he will almost certainly take large strides this season in that area of his game, head coach Steve Kerr showed a relative hesitance to give Post the keys to a starting spot throughout his rookie season. Moreover, after letting veteran Kevin Looney in free agency, Golden State now sorely needs a player that can blend seamlessly into the team's style of off-ball movement. While Horford, who averaged 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists and shot 36.3% from three-point range last season, would certainly provide this presence for the team, his addition would mean that 4 of the Warriors starters would be over the age of 35. In a recent mock trade published by Sports Illustrated, Golden State would address this issue by instead swapping Buddy Hield and Moses Moody for 26-year-old Nick Claxton. Last season with the Nets, Claxton averaged 10.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 2.2 assists while shooting 23.8% from beyond the arc. While Moody and Hield were both vital pieces to the team last season, both were relatively streaky shooters, and, with the apparently likely addition of DeAnthony Melton, the team could afford to move on from Hield in order to address a more dire need. Moody, although he took large strides last year on the offensive end, is still largely an unknown commodity, and the Warriors could shore up their rotation in his absence by adding free agent sharpshooter Amir Coffey on a cheap deal. Yet, Claxton does not necessarily fit into Golden State's current timeline, as he is only in his second year of a 4-year, $97 million deal. While Claxton would not bring the three-point shooting and veteran experience that Horford would, he could be the preferable addition in order to provide another injection of youth into the team's rotation, a facet they need desperately in order to contend for another title.